Regional High School fans to Top Gun Gymnastics in Holderness, New Hampshire to our first live cable telecast on Pemmy Baker TV at a gymnastics meet. My name is Madison Kiley, and I am a 2020 graduate from Plymouth Regional High School and a 4-year high school gymnast. Alongside me today is Nina Morrell. She was also on the high school gymnastics team. How are you doing today, Nina?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here, back in my home. I'm so excited to see some former teammates compete today, and I'm hoping they kill it.
We're excited to have you here today. Plymouth Regional High School is competing against Salem, Exeter, Londonderry, Campbell, Winnisquam, Bow, Bishop Brady, and Pembroke. The Plymouth Regional High School team includes senior Aquina Lane, sophomores Ainsley Gerard, Kaylin Lang, and freshmen Ruby Clogston, Riley Kingsbury, and Morgan Gilpatrick, and senior manager Catherine Panis. PRHS is starting on vault today.
We'll be now handing it over to the public address announcer for introductions and for the national anthem.
Without further ado, I would like to welcome all of our athletes here today. We're going to start on bars with Londonderry. And on floor, this is going to be a mouthful for me. We have Exeter, Winnisquam, Bishop Brady, Bow, and Pembroke Academy. And over here on green we have Salem High School. And your host team, Plymouth Regional High School. We are televising today's meet on Pembroke. You can locate that on YouTube if you don't have local cable, so you can go back and look at it. We'd also like to introduce our judges for today. On vault and beam, Jackie Sullivan. On bars and floors, Karen Tosti. And we'd like everybody to please rise. Our flag is right over here, so I apologize for doing a hashtag. Tenants on the other side in front of you. National anthem.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, myself, Madison Kiley, and Nina Morrell will be commentating today's meet. Some rules of a gymnastics meet. Gymnasts are scored out of a 10-0. The gymnastics events include vault, uneven bars, balance beam, and floor exercise. The judges are looking for straight legs, pointed toes, tight bodies, and stuck landings. And they are judged on level 9 rules. If a gymnast falls, the judge takes off a 5/10 deduction. We are looking forward to a wonderful meet, and we wish our Bobcats good luck. Let's stick it. Plymouth is up first on vault today.
So first off, we'll have an exhibition, and Ainsley Gerard will be doing a half-on, half-off. Her score will not count to the team score.
Up first is Ainsley Gerard. She will be competing a half on, half off.
It's a nice vault by Ainsley.
So Ainsley will be competing another vault. Each gymnast gets 2 vaults, and they take the average of the 2 vaults. Some of our athletes will be competing the same vault, and others will be competing different ones. It's a nice stick by Ainsley Gerard. Up next on vault for our first athlete that will count towards our team score is Riley Kingsbury. She will be competing a half on, half off for both of her vaults.
And it looks like Ainsley scored a 7 on that vault.
It's a nice vault by Riley Kingsbury. That was another nice vault by Riley Kingsbury.
Next up on the vault, we have Ruby Clogston. She'll be doing the same vault as Riley, which is a half on, half off.
Riley Kingsbury scored a 7-1 on her vault. That was a solid vault by Ruby Clogston.
That was a great landing by Ruby.
Next up for the Bobcats is Kaylin Lang. She will be competing a half on, half off for her first vault. Before the gymnast goes for their event, they have to salute the judge before and after.
Looks like Ruby Clogston scored a 7.5 on that vault.
Some nice tight legs by Kaylin throughout the whole vault. That's exactly what the judges are looking for. For Kaylin's next vault, she will be competing a half on, full off. So instead of doing a half twist off the table, she'll be completing a full turn off the table. That was a nice fight from Kaylin Lang.
Our next vaulter is Morgan Gilpatrick. She will be competing a half on, half off vault.
Kaylin scored a 7-2 on her vault. That was a very pretty vault by Morgan Gilpatrick.
That was another awesome vault by Morgan. She has a lot of power, gets a lot of great height throughout that vault.
Up next is senior Aquina Elaine. She will be competing a tuck souk. This skill is the same half on beginning vault as every other athletes, but she will be doing a backflip off of the vault table.
Looks like Morgan Gilpatrick scored a 7.65 on that vault.
Aquina had great height and distance off of that vault. So she'll be competing another tuck-suk for her second vault.
Yeah, that's a vault you don't see too much in high school athletes. It's definitely, one of the more difficult vaults you can do at this level.
Here comes Aquina with her second vault. Aquina had great power on that and fought for her landing. That wraps up a solid vault rotation from our Lady Bobcats. Now we are going to take a short break before our next event. Welcome back to today's high school gymnastics meet, hosted by Plymouth Regional High School with Madison Kiley and Nina Morrell. Aquina scored an 8.5 on her tuck-suk vault.
So on bars, they're doing their touch right now, which is just a quick warm-up. And it looks like Riley, who's going first with exhibition, is about to see. Good bar routine by Riley. So that score will not count towards the team score. She's just an exhibition, but as you can see, we have 5 girls competing, and the top 4 scores go towards the team score.
Up next for our first bar athlete is Ruby Clogston. So for their bar routines, to get up onto the event, they either have to do a pullover or a kip as their mount to get up onto the bar, and then they'll do a squat on to be able to jump to the high bar, and their dismount is usually a flyaway, which they swing, let go of the bar, and do a backflip.
You can also see the changing start values on the judges table. That depends on the skills that are in their routine and the highest score that they can have.
Here goes Ruby on bars.
Looks like Riley Kingsbury scored a 6.2.
Those are nice tight legs by Ruby Clogston. And a nice flyaway to finish off that routine.
So next up, we have Ainsley Gerard.
So because of these athletes are competing from the level 9 rules, the bars is especially an event that is the hardest for most athletes. And if they don't have the certain requirements for the level 9 rules, they will start from that lower start value, as Nina was saying.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot tougher to, get those higher scores from bars.
Yeah, and from our experience, bars was definitely the hardest event to compete and to get those requirements into your routine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely easier on floor or beam to be able to just add some of those, level 9 skills into your routine, like, different jumps or turns are, much easier to add than bar skills.
Here goes Ainsley in her bar routine. Ruby got a 6.2 on that bar routine.
This was a great flyaway by Ainsley.
Up next on bars is Morgan Gilpatrick. For today's meet, our 2 all-arounders are Morgan Gilpatrick and Aquina Elaine. So they will not only help with the team award at the end, but they are also competing individually for the all-around against all of the other competitors individually. So at the end of the meet, they will fall with all the other athletes in a standing.
As you can see too, vol is definitely the quickest event to judge because it's so short. So you'll see more on bars, beam, and floor that the routines just take a little bit longer.
Here goes Morgan on her bar routine. That was a nice high cast.
Ainsley scored a 6.15 on her bar routine.
That was a solid bar routine by Morgan Gilpatrick. The judges on bars look for a connected routine and really high cast, which is what they do after their kip. Aquina's up next for our last competitor on the uneven bars. She will be doing a unique skill of going from the high bar to the low bar, which is a flight skill.
Those flight skills definitely bring the start value up too. So, again, you don't see that too much in high school gymnastics. There aren't a lot of girls, so it's really great that we have someone like Aquina on the team who's really bringing the start values up.
Yeah, and she's been in the gym. She's been working super hard to add those skills to get her start value high. Here is Aquina Aline on the uneven bars.
It's like Morgan Gilpatrick scored a 6.25 on that bar routine.
It's a nice uprise by Aquina. And an awesome stick by Aquina. That's exactly what the judges want to see, is those sticky feet on the mat at the end of the routine.
Yeah, Aquina's been consistently scoring the highest for the Bobcats. She's been, killing it this season, so it's really great to see another stuck routine by her.
And our Bobcats, our best events so far this season are vault and floor. Seems like our athletes really like to do the power events and like to tumble and flip a lot.
We're just waiting on a score from Aquina.
Looks like Aquina has a start value of an 8.8. So the highest score she could get would be an 8.8.
It's like Aquina's scoring a 7.75, which is, at least 0.3 of a point higher than she's been scoring the past couple of meets. So, solid routine by her.
That was an awesome bar set by our Bobcats. We are going to take a short break before our next event. Welcome back to today's high school gymnastics meet at Top Gun Gymnastics, hosted by our Plymouth Regional High School Bobcats. We are transitioning and taking our touch on the balance beam. So the athletes are warming up, taking their 30-second touch to get their bodies warmed up before competing their routines.
I know, at least for me, beam was always the most nerve-wracking event in high school gymnastics when I was competing. That's the one that gets the nerves going the most.
Yeah, especially the balance beam is only 4 inches wide, so it is definitely nerve-wracking, especially after you warmed up before the meet, and then you only have that 30-second touch to get your body all warmed up again. So it's definitely reminding yourself about the muscle memory and that all your training will pay off. So keeping those nerves nice and calm.
Yeah, honestly, as you said too, the balance beam is 4 inches, so I mean, some of the skills everyone does is pretty incredible. So, yeah.
What was your favorite event to compete, Nina?
I think mine was always floor. I was always the best at floor, but I think it's because I enjoyed it the most. I was always super bouncy, a lot of energy, so definitely my favorite. What about you?
Yeah, Florida is definitely my favorite too. I love to tumble, to dance, and I really got to show off my personality, and it was definitely the most fun on floor.
Yeah, I agree. Especially now, you'll see in college gymnastics too that you can be showing a lot more of your personality, as you said, on the floor exercise. Yeah, a lot of the other events, it's pretty, you kind of have to, do the skills and that's it. But floor, you really get time to show off and dance if you want to.
So our Bobcats are finishing up their touch. So the requirements for their beam routines, they have to have an acro series, and that can be a cartwheel, and it does have to be connected. Some will do a flight series, which is where their hands and feet are off the beam at the same time. They do also have to have a mount to get on the beam. Their leotard does have to touch the beam on their mount, some part of the leotard. That's just a gymnastics rule that's been around for a while, and they will have to do a dismount to get off the beam. And most of our athletes do a front pike or a back tuck, and one of our athletes does a front layout.
Seems like everyone's getting their final touches, just getting in their acro series, as you said, and their dismounts.
And in our previous meet, beam has been a little bit of a struggle, but we've been working hard on sticking our routines in a row and getting those numbers in during practice. And I'm looking forward to seeing them stick their beam routines today. I think they can do it today.
Yeah, absolutely. Gymnastics as a sport is definitely a lot of mental, but especially balance beam is such a struggle. Just even it's like the little skills that you think you don't think twice about is all of a sudden the ones that are causing you the most trouble.
Yeah, especially even the college athletes I know say it. A full turn on the balance beam, it's everyone's worst nightmare. That full turn gets everyone all the time. It seems like such a simple, easy skill for the athletes, but it gives everyone the most trouble. So some of the flight series that the girls do, a lot of them do round-offs on the beam. So that's like a cartwheel, but they pop off their hands and land on 2 feet on the beam.
We're just waiting on a couple teams to finish up with their first rotations on vault and bars, and then we'll get going with the beam and floor.
Welcome back to the Plymouth Regional High School home gymnastics meet. Our Bobcats are getting ready to compete on the balance beam.
They just had a few final touches before they're about to compete, just to make sure their bodies were warm.
Is this still on?
The waiting before you compete is definitely the hardest part. I feel like when I was competing, it definitely got all your nerves going, but we use visualizing your routine a lot, sitting there and going through your routine before you get up there to compete.
Ready to go, okay?
Yeah, it's definitely really important not to psych yourself out, especially on beam. But it's hard, as you said, during that waiting period.
One thing we've been really focusing is taking it one skill at a time throughout the routine. A lot of times the athletes will try to think about one specific skill during the whole entire routine instead of taking it each piece at a time. So the Bobcats have been working on that a lot.
There's definitely some great competition here at the meet today. It'll be some close scores at the end.
Definitely.
So now the judges will start to transition over to the other events. So since we only compete vault and bars, we have one judge at each event. So now one of them will go over to beam and one will go over to floor.
High school gymnastics meets are a lot of fun. The energy is really loud, and especially during the floor routines, it gets really intense, and it's also awesome. Girls from other teams cheer on the Bobcats, and that sportsmanship is really big in high school gymnastics.
Yeah, definitely going off of that. It's just one of the most welcoming sports, I feel like. Everyone's supporting everyone. I mean, obviously you want to win with your team, but at the end of the day, I think everyone just wants to be out here competing. I know in the past year there's been a lot of virtual meets instead of being able to go out and compete, so I think everyone's super excited to be back actually competing, and especially the Bobcats being at their home gym.
Yeah, they've definitely been looking forward to this all season. They're in their home gym getting ready to kill it, so we're excited to see them finish up on their next two events. A lot of our athletes too have been doing gymnastics since they were really little, so they've been working for years at this, and now they get to finally enjoy their meets and really take it all in, especially our seniors, Aquina Elaine, and our manager, Catherine Panis. They've been doing gymnastics ever since they were really young. So it looks like we're getting ready.
Yeah, first up we have an exhibition. Ruby Clogston will be going. So just to reiterate, exhibition means that their score will not be counted towards this team score. The next 5 girls that will go after her, they'll take the best 4 out of those 5 scores, and that will go towards the team score.
So Ruby's going to start off with a cartwheel, cartwheel.
We're unsure if she'll get the connection from that cartwheel, cartwheel. It honestly depends on the judge, but, you know, they can be a little picky of, you know, that brief pause can, you know, make you lose that connection. It's a nice jump. As we said earlier, it is easier on beam and vault to, it is easier on beam and vault to add in those, beam and floor to add in those level 9 skills.
Definitely. Here comes her dismount, front pike. Nice finish for Ruby.
Yeah, it was a good beam routine.
All right, next up for our first competitor on beam that will go towards our team score is Riley Kingsbury. So it looks like Ruby started from a 9.0 start value, so that will be the highest that she can score on her beam routine.
Looks like that score she earned will be a 6.4.
And here's Riley Kingsbury up on balance beam. She's going to start off with her full turn.
Yeah, as Maddie said earlier, sometimes the full turns are the worst.
It's a nice fight for that landing on that jump 3/4 turn.
Oh, bummer.
It's okay. It's good. The athletes have learned to regain themselves after falling and really resetting, getting that mindset back up before getting up on that beam to finish the routine.
Yeah, she definitely just redeemed herself. That was a great cartwheel. She'll definitely get the connection there.
Yep. Here's Riley's dismount, the front tuck. Nice finish of that routine.
So up next on the balance beam, we'll have Ainsley Gerard going.
We're just waiting for Riley's beam score. Her start value is an 8.5. And Riley's beam score is a 6. Ainsley's going to start with a walkover. She has such pretty lines. That was a nice fight for that landing.
That's a good stick to that 3/4 jump. Those are sometimes a little bit of a blind landing, not the easiest. It's another great save.
Then she'll do her split leap connected to another tuck 3/4. That is bonus. So if they do a tuck 3/4, which is where they bring their knees up to their belly, which is just like Ainsley just did another one right there, which was pretty. So that will get some bonus. And a stuck routine.
Nice. That was an awesome routine by Ainsley.
Up next, we have Kaylin Lang on the balance beam.
Seeing a 9.4 start value up there on the judges' table.
Here's Kaylin up on the balance beam.
Looks like Ainsley got a 7.1 on that routine. That's her best so far this season.
Awesome, season high. That was an awesome full turn by Kaylin. It's a good round off by Kaylin. So there's another split leap into that tuck 3/4 jump.
Yeah, you'll definitely see a lot of athletes doing those 3/4 jumps. Those are definitely something that gets you that level 9, skill requirement.
That was an awesome beam routine by Kaylin Lang. A stuck routine, which is what we've been looking for. She's been working really hard on getting her routines consistent and sticking them every day at practice. So that was awesome to see.
Yeah, up next we'll have Morgan Gilpatrick competing.
Looks like Kaylin started from a 9-4. We're just waiting on her score. It looks like Kaylin scored a 7 on her beam routine, and that is her season high score on balance beam. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, looking, it looks like that's 9/10 higher than she's had all season, so that's an awesome improvement. It's tough falling off balance beam. I know, you know, you try to tell the athletes that it's all right to take a minute down.
Yep. So it's important to try to compose yourself as much as you just want to hop back up there, but taking that deep breath to reset is really important. She's going to do a back walk over into her dismount connected to a back tuck. It's a good finish of that routine. Up next, we have Aquina Elaine. And she will be doing a different mount from everyone else. She will be doing a run straight jump up onto the beam, which is definitely different. But that also adds to her start value, getting those level 9 requirements in. You can see her mentally preparing. She takes that deep breath, getting ready. And here's Aquina.
Looks like Morgan Gilpatrick scored a 6-1 on that beam routine. With a couple falls, it's not bad.
So Aquina will do a switch leap to a pike jump. It's good connection there. Good save.
Good save. Since as long as I've known Aquina, she's always been really great at, you know, squeezing tight on beam, making sure that, you know, she tries her best to save those falls, but, you know, it can definitely be difficult.
So this is an unusual skill too. She'll do 2 split jumps in a row facing sideways on the beam, which is even harder, and that adds to her difficulty towards the requirements for starting from a 10-0. And this is her front layout dismount.
Nice. That was a great beam routine by Aquina.
So we're just waiting on Aquina's score. That was a solid beam rotation by our Bobcats. We will be heading to the floor exercise in just a few minutes. We're just waiting for that score. So as you can see on the judges table, there is a 10-0 start value for Aquina. So all those other different skills that she has in her routines adds into the 10-0 start value.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty rare in high school gymnastics to see 10-0 start values, especially on beam. So it's really awesome that she's able to do that.
Yeah, they've been working, all of them have been working super hard to try to add in as many of those level 9 requirements as possible, because level 9 is really difficult. Looks like Aquina's score is in, and it is an 8-3. So that will wrap up our beam rotation for our Bobcats. We're going to take a quick break before our next event. Welcome back to today's high school gymnastics meet, hosted at Top Gun Gymnastics by the Plymouth Regional High School Bobcats. And we are getting ready to transition to our floor exercise rotation. Up first, we have
Ruby Clogston. She's just saluted. We're pretty excited. We had a little bit of a break in between, so they went first on beam and we're last on floor, but they're all done after this rotation.
Ruby has a really fun floor routine with her music. It gets to show off her personality.
I think another cool thing here on floor is that we have all 6 of the athletes from Plymouth competing, so they'll take the top 4 scores, but on past events we've had a couple exhibition or not everyone competes, so I think it's really great that everyone gets to show off the floor routine.
We're having some technical issues with the music, so looks like they're figuring it out right now, so hopefully Ruby will be able to go in just a minute. I remember competing when the music wouldn't work. Waiting there was always, oh, here we go. Ruby's up on floor.
She's about to go for her first tumbling pass.
And she'll be doing a round off, back handspring, back tuck.
Nice, she had a good landing there. Just do the front tuck to the other corner.
And her last tumbling pass will be a front pike.
She definitely has a super fun floor routine. Shows off a lot of her personality.
That was a good routine by Ruby Clogston.
Next up we have Riley Kingsbury.
Riley really has a fun floor routine as well, which music is very dancey and it really does show off her personality. You can also see too the teammates that are along the wall. You will see them dance along with their teammates and cheer them on. I always loved adding into each other's floor routines, doing the dance with them. It was a lot of fun and got your teammates also pumped up to do their routine.
Yeah, I know. Maddie's senior year and my freshman year, we had, a certain part in everyone's routine that every one of us knew. So it's always good to look over and see your teammates doing it with you.
All right, here's Riley's floor routine. And Ruby had a
7-2 looked like there.
She goes for her first tumbling pass, round off back tuck.
She had great height there.
Her last tumbling pass will also be a front pike. Fought for that landing. Awesome, that was a good routine by Riley. one thing that the judges look for on floor is nice presentation and smiling and making sure that the athlete's having a lot of fun. Up next is Ainsley Gerard. It's also important on the last tumbling pass that the gymnasts do has to be a B skill. So a lot of them will be doing that front pike because it is a B skill in their requirements. And here is Ainsley's floor routine.
Looks like Riley has a 7.15 on that floor routine. Pretty solid.
So it would be a 5/10 off for that fall. But she just finished it up with a good leap and her tuck full turn. She'll be doing a round off back handspring back tuck.
Just solid landing there.
It's an awesome routine by Ainsley.
Next up on floor, we have Kaylin Lang.
She also has a really fun floor routine. It's always nice being at your home gym, finishing off the last on floor, kind of closing out the whole day. All right, here's Kaylin's floor routine.
Looks like Ainsley got a 5.7 on that floor routine.
Round off, back pike, nice landing. You can see her having some fun in her dance too, which is awesome to see. And her round off, back tuck. It's an awesome routine by Kaylin. Up next is Quina Elaine. Quina also has a really fun floor routine, and the music definitely fits her personality. She really shows it off, and you can tell that she enjoys doing her floor routine every time she goes out there to compete. Here's Aquina's floor routine.
Looks like Kaylin Lane got a 6-1 on that floor routine.
It's Aquina's first tumbling pass. She'll do a round off half. Stuck the landing. That was an awesome landing. Exactly what the judges are looking for. Her having some fun in her dance. Nice toe turn. And here she goes for her last tumbling pass. Should be front tuck, front pike. Nice duck landing. See all of them having fun doing part of a TikTok dance in their routine. It's an awesome routine by Aquina. Way to stick that routine.
Yeah, and to close off the Bobcats, we have Morgan Gilpatrick. She'll be the last routine of the day.
And Morgan is adding in 2 new tumbling passes today into her routine. So she's adding 2 more difficult tumbling passes in, and I'm looking forward to seeing the routine. She's been working really hard on it, so it'll be good to see.
You can see Aquina also has that 9.8 start value, so, you know, pretty close to 10, so hopefully she'll be showing a good score here.
Here's Morgan up on floor.
Looks like Aquina got an 8.5, which is around her usual.
Good toe turn. Here she goes for her first tumbling pass. She's gonna do a front handspring, front pike, front tuck. It's okay. Good split leap to her jump. And here she goes to her last tumbling pass. She's gonna do a round off, back handspring, half. And she stuck the landing. It's an awesome routine by Morgan. Great way to finish out the meet. So as we're waiting for the results to be in, next Saturday, January 29th at 1 p.m., come support your Lady Bobcat gymnasts in their next home meet, where we'll be honoring our seniors, Senior Aquina Elaine and Senior Manager Catherine Panis, and also Senior Andy Hazelton. Unfortunately, there isn't men's high school gymnastics, but he has also done gymnastics growing up too, so we're going to be honoring him as well. That was a great way to finish out an amazing meet by all athletes. So we're going to take a quick break while we're waiting for the results to be in. Welcome back to today's high school gymnastics meet hosted by Plymouth Regional High School at Top Gun Gymnastics. We have some results in from today's meet. So starting with the team placement.
Yeah, so in third place for teams is Plymouth with a 116.15. In second place was Salem with a 123.45. And in first place is Londonderry with a 125.95. And over to Maddie for the individual scores.
And then in the all-around in third place is Aaron from Exeter with a 32.5. And second place is Aquina Elaine from Plymouth with a 33.05. And in first place is Lisa from Salem with a 33.35. That was a great way to wrap up an amazing day of gymnastics here in Holderness, New Hampshire. Thank you for tuning in to Pemmy Baker TV. We look forward to seeing you next time and hope to see you next week at our next home meet. Thank you.